Hey guys, Dimension Master Studios here, how y'all doing? So I'm sure as you guys know, a few weeks ago, we finally got the first 12 episodes of the latest Ninjago season, with that obviously being Season 16, Crystalized. And so I decided with some time passing and the chance of us getting some more episodes soon, I decided that I was going to give you guys my personal review of the first 12 episodes we've gotten so far. I decided to also wait a bit instead of just releasing them right after the episodes came out, because if I did release this right after the episodes came out, to be honest with you guys, I would have been much more negative and honestly angry than how I am now, because just seriously, I really wasn't all too happy, but I've taken some time to reflect. My opinions on some things have changed. And so here we are now, a few weeks later, just waiting for the next episodes. And again, here's my review of the first 12 episodes of Ninjago Season 16 Crystalized. I'm going to be going over a variety of stuff, mainly the episodes, the characters, what I liked, what I didn't like, and one thing in particular that I especially didn't like. If you've seen the season, and if you have seen any of my previous videos, you know exactly what this is. So let's talk about the whole thing. Let's start off with the characters, and I think it's pretty interesting because when it comes to the returning characters, for the most part, I've been enjoying them and I thought they were pretty well done. Meanwhile, when it comes to the new characters, I haven't really been enjoying them all too much, with, again, a few exceptions of some genuinely well done new characters. Let's start off with the returning characters first, and for the most part, these mainly consist of the villains, and in my opinion, the villains have been done pretty well, honestly. For starters, it is just great to see Pythor finally back in the show. Pythor is one of my favorite villains when it comes to Ninjago, and it's just absolutely awesome to see this guy back after not being in the show for years, honestly. He is just so hilarious, and it is absolutely amazing to see just a ton of these moments now. Pythor, he's just having fun with the whole situation, almost like he doesn't really care. Seriously, he's actually riding on some of the crystallized spires when he's leaving Cryptarian prison. Again, you can tell Pythor's just having fun with the whole situation, and I think it's great. And you can also tell that when it comes to Pythor's voice actor, he's also having fun with the whole thing. That is just definitely great. The mechanic has definitely been bringing a ton of laughs, and he's been just a really, really funny part, honestly, and just a whole bunch of his moments have been genuinely well done, and his fight against the ninja was also a really great fight, especially considering the fact that it took place in the subway station. Something that we haven't seen done when it comes to a fight in Ninjago in a long time, so that was pretty cool. Let's call Sorcerer, although we haven't gotten a chance to see all that much of him, he was alright. Plus, he is a part of what is legitimately one of the funniest Ninjago moments, and I'll be getting back to that when it comes to stuff that I like, so that was something pretty good. And finally, there's Spira, who is exactly the same way she was in Season 11, and I wasn't really a fan of Spira, all things considered. She was okay, honestly, during Season 11, and the same thing goes for here, although, when it comes to Spira, again, she's literally the exact same way that she was during Season 11. Constantly obsessed with revenge and blaming Wu for everything that was going on instead of herself, considering, again, Spira was the one responsible for all this stuff happening. She still says that Wu's the one who betrayed her, and even says that the ninja betrayed her, which... when did that ever happen at any point during the show? It never happened once. And when it comes to Spira, apparently she doesn't even know that she's a bad guy. Did she think that all this stuff was happening to her for no reason? What, did she think her violent takeover in Ninjago and attempting to banish Master Wu to another dimension, does she think that makes her the good guy for some reason? That just feels really weird, honestly. And so that's pretty much it when it comes to new villains. Well, when it comes to the major villains, because Mr. F's in his own other thing, and there's also one other character, but I'll be getting back to them later on. When it comes to Fuji Dove, who's also a villain, this guy sucks. Seriously, when it comes to Fuji Dove, he was so annoying and obnoxious over the 2 episodes he was in. He constantly does this whole thing of him thinking that when it comes to Jay, he's turned to a life of crime and is a villain and everything. And so he's just trying to get Jay to go onto his side and be a bad guy, even though Jay made it abundantly clear that he was not turning to a life of crime or is a bad guy. And Fugitive just keeps on going on with this, and also their big rivalry and everything that never existed. Seriously, when it comes to Fugitive, again, this guy was so obnoxious during these 2 episodes, and he was never funny once. Okay, there were maybe a few moments where he got a laugh out of me, but even then, it wasn't that much. Which, in my opinion, is a bit of a shame, because the comedy this season has definitely been really, really good. Fuji Dove is not a part of that. When it comes to Twitchy Tim, this guy also sucked. Twitchy Tim was by far my least favorite new character we got when it came to Season 14, and in my opinion, he may have actually been worse during this one episode than he was for most of Season 14, considering in this case, they decided to redo the whole short-term memory loss electricity thing that Twitchy Tim had in the previous episodes, and just, I thought that wasn't well done at all when it came to the episodes, and when it comes to here, it especially doesn't help considering he gives away where the ninja are hiding, so that's something I didn't like. And also, like, any potential growth or development he could have gone through when he came into Season 14, that's gone now, considering he just runs away from danger and the police when the ninja are in danger and everything, despite the fact that, you know, Twitchy Tim was the one responsible for defeating Ronin in the first place during Season 14, so just, what? And when it comes to any of the other returning new characters, they've also been pretty good, like, outside the ninja, obviously, and that mainly comes from Skylar and Dareth. It's neat to see Skylar back in the show and her just given some kind of big role, and I also think it's pretty funny that when it comes to the show, like, Lloyd has Skylar's number, but Kai doesn't. Like, that was legitimately funny, honestly. Although I do have to say, when it comes to Skylar, why has she been nerfed so much? Like, seriously. Back during the events of Tournament of Elements, Skylar was able to hold on to an Elemental Master's power for, like, seemingly days at a time, yet here it's only a few hours, and I think that's pretty weird, honestly. Like, if the explanation is because she got weakened because of the crystal caves on Shen's Island, then okay, that makes sense, honestly. But just at least tell us that's the reason. And when it comes to Dareth, I think it's pretty neat that he is taking his lawyer job pretty seriously and helping out the ninja in any way he can. So, you know, that's definitely something cool. And so, yeah, when it comes to the returning characters, again, for the most part, they've been pretty good with only some exceptions. Now let's get into the new characters. The new characters, for the most part, really haven't been all too good in my opinion. Like, when it comes to everyone involved in the Ninjago legal department, so the mayor, the judge, and Sean Dog McBrog, I haven't been a fan of any one of them, mainly because all three of them clearly don't know how to listen to reason. Like, seriously, the ninja are arrested and put behind bars for saving Nia's life. They're doing the good thing and trying to help out someone, and they're getting arrested for it. That doesn't make any sense at all. And also when it comes to the ninja, like, they're the ones responsible for saving everyone in Ninjago, so just why are they being arrested? And I especially don't like the fact that when it comes to the mayor, he said that, oh, the ninja are responsible for a whole bunch of property damage and destruction that happens. You know, put the blame on the ninja, the ones responsible for saving everyone and protecting Ninjago instead of the villains. The ones who are actually responsible for all the destruction and chaos and property damage and all the bad stuff that happens. That makes no sense at all. Like, why are the ninja being blamed on this instead of the villains who are actually the ones responsible for it? When it comes to the new ninja, these guys also suck. I'm really not a fan of their whole, like, showboaty, over-the-top-ness that they have, really. Like, it gets really old after a while, honestly. And, like, when it comes to these guys, they don't even have names. They're just referred to each other by their colors that they have, and that's it. That's kind of odd. And when it comes to these guys, I'm really not a fan of how they're calling the ninja old-timers and the old ninja, considering, like, when it comes to these guys, some of them sound, and, like, one of the guys even looks older than the regular ninja dude. Like, seriously. And the ninja, they're only meant to be, like, in their late teens, early 20s, maybe. So just, why are these ninja calling these ninja the old ninja? Like, that just seems kind of odd, really. When it comes to Niad, she was alright, really. I think, once again, she was just an okay character, all things considered. Nothing too much to write home about. Although I do have to say, I am not happy of having my first ever theory I posted on this channel being proven wrong, because if you guys have seen that theory, I talked about how, in my opinion, Nia may have actually been possessed by Niad's soul at the end of Season 15, and that's the ninja are really interacting with. Second episode of Season 16, nope, that theory was proven dead wrong. So, you know, not a fan of that. When it comes to Sally, I thought she, once again, was just an alright character. I did kind of like her story that she had going on with her just accepting her negative emotions and everything, so, like, that's something. And I did like the whole thing that this had to do with Zane, with him having turned off his emotions, so, like, that's something at the very least. But overall, again, I didn't think she was all too great. And then there's Mr. F, who was just there in the final episode that we've gotten so far and just sits there and just kind of has this somewhat intimidating look on him, and he's already the best new character we've gotten when it comes to Season 16. Seriously, I really liked Mr. E when it came to Season 8, and so it is just really great to see the new model of him back. Although I have to say it's kind of interesting that apparently the new model of Mr. F, he still can't speak, even though Mr. E could speak. Like, that's kind of odd, but hey, again, it's just great to see Mr. F back, honestly. And just, again, it's pretty great, honestly. And just, once again, he contributes to a really funny moment from the episode, but I'll be getting back to that later on. And so yeah, when it comes to the characters overall, again, I think that when it comes to returning characters, for the most part, they were pretty good with only a few exceptions. Meanwhile, when it comes to the brand new characters, they really weren't that good with, again, only some exceptions. So now let's get into the episode. The episodes overall, in my opinion, have been pretty good. Not too bad, not too great, but still, I've definitely been enjoying a lot of the episodes. There's been a ton of laugh out loud, pretty funny moments, all things considered, and just a bunch of really well done moments. And for example, you have stuff like Nia's whole arc that she has of her just losing her powers and her just becoming Samurai X again. That was pretty good. Zane turning off his emotions and just getting them back and everything. That was something pretty great. And just, again, a bunch of really, really funny moments with the characters just having fun with the whole situation. And especially the voice actors. Like, again, you could tell that when everyone was making this season, they were definitely having a good time doing it. And so, yeah, that's something pretty cool. When it comes to the episodes also, though, when it comes to some of the not as great ones, that's mainly more in relation to the whole Ninja being Fugitive storyline, which I'm going to be getting back into that later on. But yeah, that stuff wasn't really stuff that I was a fan of, but still overall they've been pretty good. Although I do have to say that when it comes to the episodes, Tommy Andreessen, he'd been hyping up the episode The Benefit of Grief for a while. And I have to say, overall when it comes to this episode, I thought it was okay. Like, I didn't think it was all too great or all too bad. It was just, again, a decent episode, all things considered. I did like Zane's storyline that he had going on, as well as also, like, the impact that this had when it came to Sally. Like, that was definitely something, but just, again, overall, I thought this was alright. But again, it wasn't that bad of an episode. If I had to pick a favorite episode, I'd probably have to go with Cryptarium Prison Blues, the 8th episode, considering it was just great to see Pythor back, and just, again, you could tell everyone was just having a lot of fun when it came to this episode. And it was just a whole bunch of really great action moments all throughout this episode. And just, again, it was just amazing to see Pythor again. That was definitely something really cool. So yeah, for the episodes overall, they've been pretty decent, all things considered, and I have definitely liked them. None of them are in my top 10 favorite seasons, or like that close to the top with maybe some exceptions, but hey, you know, again, they've just been pretty good. When it comes to the stuff that I liked when it came to the season, there was a lot of it. For example, I really liked the team's dynamic that we've gotten so far and them just operating without Nia. That was definitely something pretty interesting to see. Although Jay really hasn't been the best, although that was really in the first few episodes and that was it. I really like seeing a whole bunch of the villains come back and then just interacting with the ninja again. Like, for the most part, King Vangelis hasn't interacted with anyone other than Lloyd. But hey, still, I mean, it's something and it's pretty neat to see. And probably by far my favorite thing that we've gotten so far when it comes to this season has got to be the comedy. Like, this isn't season 13 levels of funny, but this is definitely a really, really funny season in my opinion. Just, I've been laughing a ton throughout the episodes, and there's just a bunch of really great moments, mainly coming from, say, Pythor, the mechanic. They were definitely great. Just some of the situations that the ninja were in were pretty great. I definitely like that. And I especially liked what we got towards the ending of episode 12, because they actually threw in an Among Us reference, and it was legitimately funny to see it. Just, the moment I saw that, I just could not believe that Ninjago actually included it, but it was just all too funny, honestly. Just, again, seriously, I've been having a blast when it comes to comedy this season. Again, not as funny as season 13. That, in my opinion, is still the funniest season in the show. But hey, we only have like half the season at this point, so things could easily change around. Now let's get into some of the stuff that I didn't like. When it comes to the stuff I didn't like, it mainly all boils down to one thing in particular. The ninja being criminals. This, in my opinion, is something that has not been working, honestly, when it comes to season 16. The ninja are considered fugitives and are wanted criminals because they're saving Nia's life. That is why they are doing all of this stuff throughout the events of season 16. To save Nia's life and help her, and they're being declared criminals for it. That doesn't make any sense at all, in my opinion. Like, the ninja even told the mayor that when it came to getting Spira out, that they would keep an eye on her and everything. Like, seriously. The ninja were taking precautions and were trying to do whatever they could in order to try and save Nia's life, and they've been declared criminals for it. That doesn't make any sense, and it's been made abundantly clear that when it comes to people who do work in Ninjago's legal department, they clearly don't care about the stuff that the ninja have done and everything. Like, yeah, the judge says the reason why the ninja aren't getting sentenced to life in prison is because of all the good stuff they've done. But again, the ninja have done a lot of good stuff in order to help out Ninjago and save everyone. Why are they being declared criminals? That doesn't make any sense at all. And just, again, this storyline, in my opinion, has not been working out well. In my opinion, it definitely worked out a lot better back during Season 6 when the ninja were framed for a crime like. That, in my opinion, made a lot more sense as to why the ninja would be considered wanted criminals. In this situation with the ninja trying to save Nia's life, it just doesn't make any sense at all, honestly. When it comes to the stuff that I didn't like, that all pales in comparison to one pretty big thing running this season. And what is that? Harumi's return into the show. I've made it abundantly clear when it comes to my videos that I don't like Harumi. Harumi is by far, in my opinion, the worst character when it comes to the show. She is a terribly written and a completely unlikable character, and she is the one and only character in the show who I can actually say that I hate. I do not like Harumi, and I cannot tell you how angry I was when I saw Harumi return into Ninjago. I was so angry to see Harumi back. I really did not like this reveal at all. Especially considering the fact that, Harumi is dead. Like, we saw her die during the events of Season 9, and even Tommy Andreasen, the co-creator of the show, confirmed on Twitter a few days before Season 16 even came out that Harumi was definitely dead. So, what gives, honestly? What's going on when it comes to this? I'm sure we're going to get some kind of explanation, because again, this is only the first 12 episodes. But just overall, again, I really don't like Harumi being back in the show. Especially considering the fact that, again, when it comes to Harumi, I'm not a fan of her. But it also doesn't help that when it comes to Harumi, she's only resulted in bad things happening both in and outside of the show. When it comes to inside the show, well, Harumi was the villain and was responsible for a whole bunch of destruction and chaos when it came to Seasons 8 and 9. Considering the fact that, she killed a ton of innocent people and took over Ninjago via the Oni Titan. And when it comes to outside the show, it's led to a whole bunch of just arguments and stuff when it comes to the fan base. So just, again, I really don't like Harumi being back in the show, honestly. This is something that I personally really do not like. And again, I cannot tell you how mad and angry I was when Harumi made a return into the show. I did not like that, and I am not looking forward as to where this is going when it comes to the remainder of the season. So, yeah, overall, when it comes to Season 16, personally, I think the season has been alright. There's definitely been a lot of moments that I have really liked, mainly the comedy, the returning villains, and the team dynamic I thought has been pretty good. But at the same time, there's been a bunch of stuff that I really don't like. Mainly the ninja being declared criminals, Fuji Dove and Twitchy Tim not being good characters at all, and Harumi's return to the show is something that I have definitely not been a fan of. Even though, again, it's only been one episode where we've actually seen her back. So just, again, when it comes to Season 16 overall, I think it's been a decent season. If I had to rank this compared to other seasons, this would definitely right now be in probably like the number 10 area at this point. Although that is definitely all subject to change considering what we're going to end up seeing when it comes to later episodes. And we'll just have to wait and see, especially because of Harumi and everything. Just with Harumi back into the show, I already consider Season 8 to be the worst season in the show. When part of that is because of Harumi, so we'll see where things go when it comes to this. But when it comes to this season, in my opinion, this is either going to be a really great and amazing season, or this is going to be one of, if not, the worst seasons in all of Ninjago. We will just have to wait and see where things go. And who knows when we're going to get the new episodes at this point. At the time of me making this video, I have no idea as to when the next episodes are going to be coming out, so hey, we'll just have to wait and see. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys. So tell me down below, what do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on Season 16, and what have you been liking? What stuff haven't you been liking? Again, tell me down below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Later, guys, this is Dimension Master Studios, signing off.